Welcome back to the I Just Love Footy YouTube channel, and today we're going to get stuck into the Collingwood vs St Kilda game set to take place Thursday night at the G. Now, focusing just quickly on the result of the game against Sydney on Friday night. Some of the, shortcomings for Collingwood were our inability to transition the ball, inability to stick the tackle, and lack of synergy from midfield to forward and vice versa. So really, in a nutshell, those are probably the three main things I'm looking for from a team aspect to improve on in this game and come out and say, yep, we've ticked 1, 2, 3 boxes coming out of the game against St Kilda to develop that momentum and change the trajectory of our season. Another thing that was really noticeable after watching the game back was our first 5 minutes in that game. It was really just a calamity of errors from some of our most experienced players in the team. I will be doing a video on that tomorrow, so if you want to see a full breakdown of what set the tone and the precedent in a negative manner for Collingwood, then consider subscribing and you'll see that video come out on Wednesday. So we look to harp on those three things that I mentioned that didn't work in the Sydney game, moving into St Kilda game: the transition, stick the tackles, synergy between mids and forwards, and have a really good start. And the contingency is, if we don't have a good start, if we give a couple handball receives to overlapping players who are trying to break lines and it doesn't work out, that's okay. I like us to start that way and go fast. If for some reason St Kilda, being a very good zone defense, if they happen to quell that movement early in the game, then that's fine. Take a mark, step off your player, switch the ball, get the width on the ground, go to the open side, and then get some confidence in the kicks. Our disposal efficiency hasn't been great, particularly by foot. So just to get some early confidence, even if it is those easy kicks, it will go a long way. And the game isn't won in one moment. The game is won over the course of the game, and you need to develop momentum and composure and confidence throughout the game to get to that end point, which is ultimately winning the game. So we don't have to rush, we have to be go, go, go. And because we haven't been stopped like that in a long time, where we've just been able to go, go, go at our will, it seems like the league is potentially catching up, and that's what happens when you win a premiership. People research the living daylights out of you going into the next season. So you've got to add extra dynamics to your game. So for Collingwood, it's just them needing to identify the moment. The other thing is, when we have been turning it over, it seems like our players are just automatic to the point that they need to push to the closest player who has the ball straight away, which is correct for the most part. But if you're the secondary player in that situation, where, say for example, someone in front of me is already pressuring that player, I'm wondering, I should for the most part be concerned about who's the next most dangerous player. And if it's the player over there just off to the side, then I should go straight to him. And rather than two people just seeing the ball and trying to get the ball and trying to pressure that player, just play the percentages and play one-on-one for that situation. You don't always have to try being outnumbered defensively. You need to develop the awareness to know when to hold, when to go 2-on-1 defensively, or when to mark the next dangerous player, because they're most likely going to get the next ball. Trust the player at the source that they're going to do a job defensively, and if they don't, you've got the very next player who's the most dangerous player after the player with the ball. So that's another key emphasis that I'd like to see Collingwood really improve on against St Kilda. From a personnel standpoint, I obviously don't think Ash Johnson's going to be in the side. I don't think Charlie Dean's going to be on the side. If you watched my video on the analysis, I think the title was "This is why Collingwood are 0-2." I did have some strong points for Ash Johnson and Charlie Dean. Ash Johnson just having a lot of moments and not really impacting the contest and bringing the ball down to play, missed opportunities. So I think he'll need to go to the VFL and just take some of those learning points and harp on them at VFL level, and hopefully see him later in the season in better form. For Charlie Dean, he's just very raw when it comes to AFL level. He came up against players who knew how to use their body better, knew when to jump, knew how to position themselves, and Charlie seemed a bit all at sea when it came to that defensive craft. So there was a lot of footage that I imagined the Collingwood defensive team would show Charlie Dean to take that into the VFL and develop that craft. And we'll probably see him later in the season as well. I would imagine he gets dropped. However, we're hearing Billy Frampton is likely to play forward in lieu of Ash Johnson this week. So if that does happen, then maybe Charlie Dean keeps his spot, but he's got to learn quick. Like, this is AFL, we're 0-2. time is not of the essence right now for Collingwood. So it's really important that Charlie picks up on these little things as quickly as possible. Outside of that, I think it's going to be a really competitive game. St Kilda were a really disciplined team last year. They moved the ball really well. They were a top 6 side defensively. They were competitive against the game in Geelong, and you can bet your life that St Kilda are going to look at these deficiencies that Collingwood are going through right now, along with the heat in the media, and say, right, this is our chance. This is a really good chance to get one over Collingwood while they're down. They're really going to come in with their tails up in this match as well. Alright, that's pretty much it for today's video. Let me know what your views are from a selection panel perspective. Would you go Billy Frampton forward, Billy Frampton backline? Where does Jeremy Howe stand in amongst all of this? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Alright, thanks. Bye.